Are live. We are live. I want to talk about the Mikey Garcia Limpinez fight tonight. You got Mikey Garcia moving up to 140. Well, he fought Adrian Broner at 140, so he's trying to go after the title. I got Mikey Garcia in this fight. I believe just Mikey Garcia is just a better fighter. I seen Limpinez one time. I've been hearing about him a lot, but I've actually seen him that one time when he fought for the title, and he looked okay. The guy that he was fighting against, he didn't like dominate the guy. He was getting hit a lot, and he can't get hit like that against Mikey Garcia. Now, Mikey Garcia, he is fighting a a guy that's naturally bigger than him. Well, has been naturally at the weight longer than him, so he has to look out for that. But other than that, I think it would be some adjustments within the first couple rounds. But I think eventually Mikey Garcia will prevail in the Limpinez fight. I got Mikey Garcia. I mean, he can possibly stop him. It all depends on if Lipinez can get hit less than he got hit in the fight when he fought for the title. If he can get hit less than that fight, he will have to, because once that Mikey Garcia started landing power shots, I think this fight can. I think he can stop Lipinez in the last couple rounds. I think Mikey Garcia can stop him. Mikey Garcia said later on in this year that he may move up to 147. I don't know about Mikey Garcia at 147. He said he want to fight Earl Spence. I remember last year he said he want to fight Keith Thurman. I mean, he has a skill set to move up. Everybody don't have a skill set to move up, but Mikey Garcia does have a skill set to move up. But I don't know how effective he will be against those guys. Now he has to dominate Lipinez for me to think a little bit different. Now, if he struggle against Lipinez, and I advise him not to go to 147 and fight those guys. I mean, he can beat some guys at 147, I believe, but I don't know about the top half of the 147-pound division. When you looking at Keith Thurman, Earl Spence, I know Crawford is just moved up in there, but Crawford to me is up there. Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. But I will have to see. Let's see him get past this guy. I touched on the Wilder fight already. I thought Wilder fought a good fight versus Ortiz. I mean, I didn't think he fought the best fight he could fight strategic wise. I think yes, he was fighting a southpaw, and people think orthodox fighters cannot land their jab on a southpaw, but you can land your jab on a southpaw. And the thing about it, Wilder crouched down too low. If he would have stood tall, he would have landed his jab on Ortiz, not with ease, but he would have landed more consistently. The fact that he crouched down put him at Ortiz's eye level, and they were battling for the jab position. If he would have stood up tall, he could have jabbed over the top of Ortiz's jab, and he could have hooked off the jab more. I don't know why Wilder didn't hook up. I think he threw one hook off the jab, maybe one or two, and he hit Ortiz clean. Why he didn't go back to that, I don't know. Wilder was sitting down looking for his power shot. See, that's a thing that, to me, that can hamper Wilder. If Wilder start just sitting on his right hand, he's going to be in trouble. He can't just sit on that right hand. He has to throw other punches so he can hide the right hand. So when the right hand comes, it comes straight down the middle flush. Like he was sitting, and I said in my my breakdown that Wilder can possibly wait, too long and let Ortiz settle in the fight, and that's what happens. He let Ortiz settle in the fight, and then Ortiz was sitting on Wilder's right hand. He was waiting to counter Wilder's right hand. He did counter it with the hook. He did have a nice counter with the hook. He got Wilder in trouble. Wilder came back. Wilder weathered the storm. Wilder showed a lot of heart, a lot of determination, and he ended up stopping. He ended up stopping his man. So you got to give him all credit in the world. But Wilder do have some things that he can do better. In the ring, he can stop. Sometimes you can see him. He wants to throw the right hand so bad. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just setting it up more. It almost looked, telegraph. But when he hits you with it, it is devastating. But I also want to talk about the Ndago fight. I think Julius Ndago, is he done? Is he done? I think he made. I don't think he fought a bad fight yesterday. I just thought he was just too jittery. Like he was like jittery. He was all over the place. You know what I'm saying? He didn't sit down for a moment to throw any meaningful shots. He was throwing all pitter pat shots. You know what I'm saying? He was fighting the same way he fought against Crawford, all jittery and all over the place like a jitterbug, like almost like he had so much nervous energy. I mean, I know a lot of people say, some people say he should stop boxing, and now some people saying that Crawford is overrated because he beat Ndago got knocked out in 2 rounds versus this guy. Who is this guy? And I know people saying that, but like I said, Ndago, he went to 2 different countries and got lifted 2 belts off of guys. He lift belts off of guys, so he deserved to be where he was at. He deserved the accolades that he had because he had earned it. It was no hype. Nobody gave Julius Ndago hype because I didn't even know anything about Julius Ndago, and a lot of people didn't know anything about Julius Ndago. So nobody can hype him up. The man earned his right. He earned the right to fight Crawford. Crawford can only fight the guys who has the titles. He happened to have the titles. Crawford wanted to be undisputed. He had to fight him, and he knocked him out with a body shot. And you can't say Crawford is overrated because if he would have struggled in the fight versus Ndago, like struggled in the fight and he barely pulled the fight out, then I can say okay. But he knocked the guy out. He showed that he's a class above the guy. Even though the guy did have the titles, he was a class above the guy. But, people going to say what they're going to say, man. But my thing is this. Crawford, to me, is the most well-rounded fighter in boxing today. And you got some guys that's close. You got Lomachenko, you got Keith Thurman. No, I don't put Earl Spence up in there. I think Earl Spence is largely a one-dimensional fighter. He doesn't, to me, if he fights someone with movement and with angles, he's going to have a problem if they don't get on the ropes. Because in the center of the ring, he's not that assertive in the center of the ring. He's more assertive when you get your back on the ropes and when you're bagging up. So, although Earl Spence, he beat Kell Brook in the latter half of the fight when he did take over, it was impressive. But up until that point, it was looking kind of cloudy. But he did finish the fight in the stoppage, so that's impressive. But I can't, take away the fact that the first half of the fight, how he was having trouble with Kell Brook's movement and Kell Brook angles and Kell Brook using that jab. I can't look past that when I'm trying to forecast you past the fighter that you beat, and the next guy, Crawford, like a Crawford or a Keith Thurman, who I think are better than Kell Brook, to me, in my eyes, better than Kell Brook, mentally, better than Kell Brook, definitely. But like I said, I think Crawford is probably closer to the full package in boxing right now today. And I got Crawford. I got him beating Jeff Horn, even though Jeff Horn is going to be a tough, rugged fight, which is what he needs to welcome him into the 147-pound division, so he'll know how physical it is, But when he beat Jeff Horn, and then we'll see what happens from there. But I can't, I know people saying, well, will Bob Arum work with Al Haymon? He had, Crawford already fought PBC fighters. He fought John Molina. He fought the one kid that won the gold medal. What's his name? Forget his name. The guy that he just beat. But yes, those guys are Al Haymon fighters. I know John Molina is an Al Haymon fighter. So they already do business. These guys are are almost billionaires, and if it makes money, these guys they're gonna put their fighters in the ring with other fighters. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why people say, will he be able to fight PBC fighters? Of course he will. But I want to talk about what else I wanted to touch on. I wanted to touch on Joseph Parker versus Anthony Joshua. I don't like the fact that Joseph squares himself up a lot, and he was getting hit by a lot with a lot of uppercuts versus Fury Free, and that's one of Joshua's main power punches is that uppercut. And I think Joshua will stop him 8-9 rounds. I think 8-9 rounds Joshua will stop him. But the simple fact, the way Parker fights, launching in, and I mean he does jab his way in, you know, but I also see him launching himself in, trying to throw a right hand versus Fury. Now he may have a different game plan versus Joshua. He may fight a more of a measured fight, you know, because all different fighters have different styles, so he may approach that fight different. But from what I seen, Joshua can stop him in later rounds. And Joshua versus Wilder, I know people saying Joshua's scared. I don't believe Joshua is scared. I believe Joshua is measured, and I think Joshua is waiting on his timeline. And us as fans, we want him to be on our timeline. Because I want to see the fight this year if we can. If we can see it later in the year, if we can see it in November, October, November, somewhere up in there, I would love to see the fight. That's a 50-50 fight. I was picking Joshua like about a year ago because I said Wilder, he was off for a long time. I thought he had digressed, even though he was knocking guys out. I thought he digressed after the first Stavern fight because I thought the Stavern fight was his best to me. Even though he knocked Stavern out, it was his best. The way he fought was the best I seen him fight technically, and with his punches being straighter. And people were like, "Oh man, but he was still knocking people out after that." Yes, he was. But when you project him past the guys he's gonna fight, and like somebody like fighting like somebody like Joshua, then you gotta look at all the nuances of his style. Like Joshua, the reason why I left Joshua and said I'm on Wilder's side now because Joshua is having stamina problems. You can't be having those stamina problems, man. I think Joshua need to lose 10 to 15 pounds. If Joshua lose like 10 to 15 pounds, I think it would be better for him. He has too many bulky, inflated muscles that need a lot of oxygen. And you know what I'm saying? They need a lot of oxygen, and he gets tired, man. I just think, I don't know if Joshua will you know what I'm saying, come in 10, 15 pounds lighter than what he did previously. Because I think largely Joshua, his body is his confidence. It's part of his confidence. Him being that big is part of his confidence. For some reason, some people, when they have to lift weights and they have to be big to be confident. And he's one of those guys, I think, that his bulk ties into some of his confidence. So maybe that's the case. And if that's the case, him fighting Wilder, it's still a 50-50 fight, no matter where you put it at. Because Wilder can beat him. Yes, Wilder can beat him because Wilder jab does work better on orthodox fighters. But Joshua can also beat him because, to me, Joshua throws more combination. He's more of a combination big guy. Wilder don't throw combinations I never seen Wilder throw combinations. But I seen Joshua throw combinations. I see him throw power combinations and get guys in serious trouble. Both of these guys has been down in their career. Both of these guys been hurt multiple times in their career. So I don't want nobody saying, "Oh, what about Wilder's power more than Joshua's?" No, look, at this level, both of these guys got power that can stop the other guy. Period. Point blank. Both of these guys got power that can stop the other guy. Now, if you're gonna say rank their power from 1 to 10, okay, if Wilder got 10 power, Joshua got 9 power. What's the difference? Joshua power is at a 9 out of 10. You can say Wilder's power is 10 out of 10, but what's the difference? Now, when we go past that, the next thing is, if Joshua decided to fight a physical fight and fight more on the inside and land more body shots, because no one has landed body shots on Wilder, any meaningful body shots on Wilder. So if Joshua can attack his body and we can see from there how that goes, it can be a problem for Wilder. But if Joshua gasses out by round 6 or 7, it can be a problem for him. So it's whoever land the first meaningful punch first, and we're gonna see what happens. But this is a 50-50 fight. Don't let nobody fool you and say, oh, Joshua going to walk over Wilder or Wilder going to walk over Joshua. It's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. These two guys are going to fight a measured fight versus both each other going to fight a measured fight. These guys will come in and respect the other guy's power. We're going to see, for the first 2-3 rounds, we're going to see these two guys trying to manage space and try to see what the other one does, period. And both of these guys, they don't move their heads. Both of their heads is in a straight line, so that's what's gonna make the fight interesting. Both of these guys' heads are like right there to be hit. Joshua don't move his head that well. Wilder don't move his head that well. So we're gonna see who can take a punch. We're gonna see who heart is bigger. But that's what I wanted to say. I got Mikey Garcia tonight. This is Boxing Talk 8576. I'm out.